Good evening to you all. Welcome to CSBIS Academy Current Affairs Bulletin. See, as I tell where from I'm collecting the sources. Today I have read Indian Express, Times of India, Live Mint, NDTV News, The Hindu, and I have collected important news today. And I wish to explain some brief points. And for all of you, I would like to advise the topics which I am giving here, the topics which I am telling here, you are expected to do little more research on the topics. Okay, I'm collecting the topics which are important for the exam, as we cannot read entire newspapers because even our 24 hours time is not sufficient to complete all the newspapers. So I'm collecting the most important topics. Based on my information, you should develop your knowledge. Okay, let us start today's current affairs. Mano Darpan. Mano Darpan. It is launched by Ministry of Human Resource Development. Mano Darpan is an initiative for mental health and counseling of students. It aims to provide psychosocial support and counseling to the students for their mental well-being and overall well-being. And HRD Ministry launched this program, and the schools, colleges, and universities are covered. A toll-free number is also given. A toll-free phone number is also given, and under MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development, a website is also developed. Okay, it is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. So now, what is this Mano Darpan and why? As you all know, COVID pandemic seriously started in India in March, and we have already completed 4 months. Most of the youth, particularly students and college going students, research scholars, most of them, after 2, 3 months, 4 months, started getting some psychological troubles because of their exams, no exams, and because of various academic issues, delay in the academic year. Even children, even third class, fourth class children, they are also now they wanted to seriously go to school. So COVID-19 pandemic and psychological effect on students. So for that reason, Mano Darpan, a scheme, an initiative was launched by HRD for the well-being. Counseling centers will be established, and there will be a counseling for the students who call for the toll-free number. Who call for the toll-free number, and there will be some webinars and other seminars also. Next, Druvastra. Druvastra. DHRUVASTRA. You might get direct prelims question. You might get a direct prelims question. The word Druvastra is in news. What is that Druvastra? They may give A, B, C, D options. Druvastra is a anti-tank guided missile. Druvastra is a anti-tank guided missile. Direct question might come in the exam. Okay, recently there was a trial of India's anti-tank guided missile Druvastra, and the trial was successfully completed in the intermediate test range in Orissa recently. The trial was successfully completed. According to the reports, okay, amidst the pandemic, corona pandemic, after taking all the steps, they started the trial. India successfully completed the helicopter launched Nag missile. You all know Nag is an anti-tank missile. The helicopter launched Nag missile is called Helena. So Druvastra. Druvastra is a rename of Helena. So what is Druvastra? Druvastra is a anti-tank guided missile. If you remember this much, it is done. It was indigenously developed. Our DRDO developed. DRDO means Defense Research and Development Organization. Druvastra was developed by DRDO. It was anti-tank guided missile. Next important current affairs today. Next important current affairs. Non-personal data committee. Non-personal data committee submitted its report. Non-personal data committee submitted its report. What is this non-personal data committee? Listen, during Aadhaar issue, we had a concept called data privacy. And there was a committee that was appointed to draft data privacy rules, Sri Krishna committee. That is about personal data. That is about personal data. But under the chairmanship of Chris Gopalakrishnan, under the chairmanship of Chris Gopalakrishnan, last year, government appointed a committee for non-personal data protection. The committee submitted its report. The committee submitted its report. Now, what is this personal data and what is this non-personal data? What is the difference between personal data and non-personal data? Directly, the data by which you can establish the identity of a person is called personal data. Directly, the data by which you can establish the identity of a person is called personal data. Okay, for example, biometrics, thumb, fingerprints, or iris scan. All these things comes under personal data. Our PAN number, our Aadhaar card, they all come under personal data. Beyond this personal data, there's a concept called non-personal data, where we can identify the person or the mindset of the person or the community of the person very easily, or the address of the person. For example, we'll take an example and know, and I'll let you understand what is non-personal data. For example, you use your phone to order food under Zomato. You use your phone to upload a photo in the Facebook, or you use your phone to download a movie from Amazon Prime. So, if you collate all this data, your identity, your address, your phone number, your location, your age, your email address, most of the data can come in. In the world today, we have a concept called big data analytics or data mining. So, after collecting a wide range of data with wide respect of population, there might be a chance of misusing the data by digging your details. So, for example, your land record is your non-personal data, which is available with the government. Your land record. Okay, in that you'll have an Aadhaar card. So slowly you can your all the data will be collected and your identity can be detected. And Facebook, for example, Facebook, Twitter, so many Google, they'll have a lot of your data on it. So non-personal data, the report said non-personal data should also be regulated by a new regulatory authority. There should be a regulatory authority even to regulate non-personal data. If it comes out, it might affect the human beings. And the committee have given three types of non-personal data, three categories of non-personal data: public non-personal data, community non-personal data, private non-personal data. Public non-personal data, community non-personal data, private non-personal data. For example, I'll give you one small example. A hospital have a complete record of AIDS patients, or a hospital have a complete database of corona patients with addresses, with their neighborhood, with their spouse details, with their phone number. If entire data comes out, okay, if a government hospital have complete data of a COVID patient, entire COVID patients in Telangana, if the entire data comes out, what will happen? So this comes under public non-personal data. Okay, the data is with the government. For example, land record data. So even for this, to protect this, we have non-personal protection, data protection concept. Okay, personal data protection concept and non-personal data protection. Personal data protection, you all know that Sri Krishna Committee, right to privacy, but unfortunately, even no formal law have drafted on that till date. Means there was a law, there was a draft bill, but that have not come out till date. And the government appointed this committee for non-personal data protection, headed by Infosys co-founder Chris Gopalakrishnan. Infosys co-founder Chris Gopalakrishnan. So this is a very important news. You can dig much more from that. And next important news. Recently, UN have released a report. United Nations organizations have released a report. Achieving zero hunger by 2030 is difficult. See, in the international system, we have a concept called SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. In the international system, we have a concept called SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 sustainable goals. As a civil aspirant, you are expected to remember all the goals so that you can write good answers and essay also, particularly in mains and interview. So, in the sustainable goals, one such goal was zero hunger. One such goal was zero hunger. But according to the recent report, State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World, the report title was State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World. According to this report, uh, due to corona crisis, the poverty levels were increased now. In future, by 2030, we cannot expect that the world will become zero hunger. So the target is by 2030, the world should become zero hunger world, according to SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. But the recent UN report is saying that it is not possible now. It is very difficult. And who will release this report? Who will release this report? It is released jointly by many organizations: FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization; IFAD, International Fund for Agriculture; UNICEF, you all know UNICEF, World Food Program, and World Health Organization. So FAO, IFAD, UNICEF, World Food Program, World Health Organization. All these institutions put together, they will release this State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report. State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report. And from last few days, one more missile is in news. ASTRA. Directly, you might get direct question on ASTRA. ASTRA. What is ASTRA? ASTRA is an all-weather, beyond visual range air-to-air missile developed by DRDO. ASTRA is an all-weather, beyond visual range air-to-air missile developed by DRDO. It is the first air-to-air missile in India. Astra is the first air-to-air missile. And why it is in news? It is in news because our Ministry of Defense wanted to procure more Astra missiles for our Air Force and Navy. We are trying to manufacture more Astra missiles and matter. So we are going with more and more Astra missiles. And you may get a direct question: what is an Astra missile? What is an Astra missile? This is very important. It also completed test trial successfully. Astra missile last year also completed its test fire successfully. So that's important with Astra. And next important news for today: European Union. You all know that we call it as EU. There are 27 member countries in the European Union, and recently Britain have come out. You know that Brexit happened. European Union clinches massive stimulus deal to bind continent together. So European Union agreed for almost proposal have come to a finalization for a stimulus package to protect European Union from the effects of corona crisis. So where from I have taken this news? Almost all the important newspapers noted that. Live Mint, Bloomberg.com. So there are important international news channels also, they have reported this. European Union have finalized a massive stimulus deal to help the continent. So you all know that COVID-19 affected all the businesses. No country in the world is exception to this. From America to Europe to India to Zimbabwe, Zambia, almost entire world have shut down. Yesterday there is a news. Even Coca-Cola in the last quarter, its sales and profit have come down drastically. Even for Coca-Cola. So every company have faced that. So European Union leaders agreed for a stimulus package to actually tied out to cope with the corona crisis, economic effects of corona crisis. And you all know that Italy, Spain, the worst affected countries due to corona crisis, Italy, Spain, etc. in the European Union, they seriously need, they require strong stimulus packages. So European Union leaders agreed a very big stimulus package worth 750 billion euros. 750 billion euros to pull out their economies from corona effects, at least to give some stimulus. The European Commission is going to borrow money from the markets. It's going to borrow money from the markets, and around $390 billion it will give grants to the hardest hit countries. Around 390 billion euros it is going to give as grants, and remaining it is going to give as loans. Remaining it is going to give as loans. So why this stimulus package? Help businesses to cope up from corona crisis, to cope with economic lockdowns, rolling out for new reforms, and more importantly, invest in the businesses in future crisis also. If the corona crisis continues or some other crisis comes in future also, the businesses should be very strong. And particularly there is a chance that Italy and Spain might again go for deep recession. In 2011-12, I have seen a worst form of recession, particularly PIGS crisis. Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Spain, Greece, PIIGS antam. We call it as PIIGS countries. I have seen that worst effect. So this is next important current affairs of the day. Taiwan says China is sending planes near the island almost every day. Taiwan is complaining against China. Taiwan is complaining against China. In fact, every country and every region, not only every country, every region in the neighborhood is complaining against China. So coming to Taiwan, it's a special case. Coming to Taiwan, it's a special case. See, let us see what is this special case with respect to Taiwan. What is this special case all about? Taiwan is saying Chinese flights are intruding into Taiwan's region every day frequently. So China is trying to dominate and control Taiwan every day. It is trying all methods. In fact, recently you have seen Hong Kong, how China tried to control by promulgating new security laws and various laws on Hong Kong. So China seems to be getting prepared to use force against Taiwan to get the control on Taiwan. To get the control on Taiwan. China claims that Taiwan belongs to China completely. Taiwan is not an independent existence, does not have any independent existence. Okay, Taiwan does not have any independent existence according to China. But Taiwan's present government tells that Taiwan has its own autonomy. Taiwan has its own autonomy. So, what is the history of Taiwan? First, you should know this. Uh, Taiwan basically was a Dutch colony. After becoming a Dutch colony, slowly it have come into the hands of China. In China, there is a dynasty called Qing dynasty, Qing, Qing dynasty. It ruled China from 1624 to 1661. After Qing dynasty ruled China from 1683 to 1895. So before that, it was a Dutch colony. Taiwan is a Dutch colony from 1624 to 1661, and later on, it was ruled by Qing dynasty. Qing dynasty ruled Taiwan from 1683 to 1895, and slowly it have become a Japanese colony. Slowly it have become a Japanese colony, and when Red China was formed in 1949, when Red China was formed in 1949, Communist China was formed in 1949, the nationalist government under Chiang Kai shek, so they have left to Taiwan. At that time, it is called Formosa. And remember, Taiwan is a democratic place. The region follows democracy, whereas China is communist. Taiwan follows democracy, whereas China is communist. And according to Republic of China, that is Taiwan. Taiwan is called Republic of China, and China is called People's Republic of China. Officially, there is no recognition for China for Taiwan as a separate country. Officially, there is no recognition for Taiwan as a separate country. But Taiwan is trying to maintain its own existence and identity. But China wanted to completely control Taiwan. China wanted to completely control Taiwan. Okay, and China have territorial ambitions on most of the places and most of the countries. China have territorial ambitions. You know that with India, how it have dealt with Ladakh issue recently, Galwan Valley, and after that Bhutan. And one more important news is China is claiming Bhutan, Sakteng sanctuary. China is also claiming eastern part of Bhutan, and China is telling that I want Bhutan also. Bhutan lo the certain areas in Bhutan China wants. And one more important news for today. Rajasthan political turmoil. Rajasthan political turmoil. You should know this story. Rajasthan political turmoil. On 12th July 2020, uh, first of all, you should know Rajasthan is ruled by Congress. Rajasthan is ruled by Congress. On 12th July 2020, around 19 members of Rajasthan Assembly, who are Congress members, are led by Sachin Pilot, and they became rebels to the existing government. Existing government, Rajasthan government, the CM is Gehlot, and the deputy CM is Sachin Pilot. There was some problem in that, in the power sharing and arrangements and other things, rival factions. So Sachin Pilot came out. Congress tried to persuade him. The high command of Congress tried to persuade him. Finally, they have expelled Sachin Pilot from the party, and they said the speaker gave notices. The speaker gave notices saying that they will be, they will be punished under anti-defection law. Anti-defection law. And here, the question is, Sachin Pilot and other 18 MLAs went to High Court. The High Court have asked the speaker to wait for 3 days first time, and again second time 3 days. Now the speaker has a question. With respect to anti-defection law, speaker is the final authority. After speaker decides the case, then the court can review that. In between, how can Sachin Pilot and other members approach the High Court, and High Court can direct the Speaker? Is it not invasion on legislative privileges? Is a question of Speaker. On this issue, Speaker went to Supreme Court today. Let's wait for the judgment of Supreme Court. And in the entire episode, anti-defection law have become a very big news. Anti-defection law. And you should know the basics of anti-defection law. If a person voluntarily wins with a party ticket, after winning in a party ticket, if he voluntarily goes to the other party, joins in the other party, he'll become a defector. He can be expelled from the party, and he can be basic thing is he has to resign from the legislature post. He should vacate his seat in the state legislature or parliament wherever he was. This is basically anti-defection law. And generally, when somebody jumps from one political party to other political party, he'll be expelled from that political party also. Sometimes he won't be officially. Even that happens. Okay, this issue is going on. Let us see how Supreme Court will decide on this. And anti-defection law was added to the Constitution by 52nd Amendment in the 10th schedule. And there was a changes in the anti-defection law, 91st Amendment. And now people are asking further reforms in the anti-defection law. People are asking further reforms in the anti-defection law. This is not sufficient. We wish to have further reforms. People are asking for that. So this is the news for today. And one small announcement. The entire news which I am telling, the soft copies you can get in CSB IAS Academy, Balata CSB IAS Academy Telegram channel. In the same way, the same news from tomorrow onwards, I'll be teaching in Telugu also in my Telugu YouTube channel. As many students are requesting to speak in Telugu, what I'll do, after completing English from 9 to 9:25, I'll start at 9:30 for the Telugu medium students. Thank you very much.